Okay, guys. As you can tell from the title, we're going to be taking a deep dive in here regarding PropStream. Okay, so I know a lot of you guys use PropStream and have been using them for years. And I think like 2 years ago they like sold their company for somewhere near. I'm not going to speculate on the price; it doesn't affect me. But it was for quite a bit of money. And I'm going to be honest, guys. Usually when these companies, I've been seeing a pattern. Usually when these companies create these companies and then they sell them basically off of venture capitalist funding, you usually see once they're sold a decrease in the quality of just a decrease in the overall software's compatibility, ability to process information, just a lot of things, just the quality of the service goes down. So one thing I noticed about PropStream, once they sold it, you have to pay $5 for those reports. So it's like they start nickel and diming their audience. And to be honest, a lot of people may say, "Well, you CC, you charge 10,000 or you charge $1,000 for 10,000 records. I could get that for $97 in PropStream." There's a reason why you're paying for that, and there's a reason why everybody and their moms using that tool. There's a reason why they were able to sell it for the amount they were. The only thing that these software companies need are users, right? Users and hype. They even approached me several years ago with wanting to be an affiliate for them because they were building their company based off the backs of affiliates, people that are established in the industry. Not so fast, right? I'm not about to put my name on the line for something that I don't know about, right? Nor am I going to create videos that may go viral on my YouTube channel or on my Facebook channel. And then at the end, it has PropStream there. And what if I don't like the tool 2 or 3 years later? So guys, I'm just going to be honest here. I'm going to show you some examples from basically data sets and examples are list pulling criteria that I created in PropStream, and then I did the same criteria in Investor Title Toolbox. And you're going to see on my software system and what I'm doing to pull lists, we're getting, I think we're getting like 82% more data. 80% more data, and specifically an absentee record. So if you guys are having issues with a lot of people are being in the market and you think it's overly competitive, you're like, everybody I call says that everybody and their mom has called me about this house. What if you are dialing the same list that all the other people are dialing? Have you ever thought about that? Have you thought about if you're in a market, if 80% of the wholesalers are using PropStream and you guys are only seeing the same records, you're going to be pulling the same combination of, let's just say there's 100,000 sellers, the same combination of 100,000 sellers. What if I'm able to get 500,000 sellers in your market? So you're missing homes. It's going to seem like it's competitive because you guys are competing against the same properties, right? So this is actually really important. And this is another thing when it comes to cheap. Cheap doesn't necessarily equate to better. Cheap gets you exactly what you're paying for. So let's go ahead and share my screen here. And I'm going to go ahead and show you guys some things. Window, not downloads window. Actually, give me 1 second. Let me open up PropStream and prep all this stuff, and then I will share my screen. I hope you guys are having a great Saturday. I appreciate you guys joining me on this Saturday evening. Felt a little inspired to go live here, so we'll see how it goes. I'll probably go on for like 30 minutes to an hour because I know it's Memorial Day weekend and I know I want to go out and have some fun as well. Okay, so share window. I don't know why my window's not populating here, guys. Okay, that's me sharing my actual screen. Share. I'll just share my entire screen with you guys. Okay, so here's PropStream, and here's the tool I use, Investor Title Toolbox. Yeah. Let's go ahead and log in, and I'm gonna start showing you guys some comparisons. So I sent off an email to my list on this topic last week. I used Pinellas as an example. So if you are in Tampa, this is perfect for you. Check this out. So this is the criteria I usually use on my list. Start off with owner occupied, no. So absentee. Property type, single family. Year built, I did 1965 to 1999. Okay. Individual owners, so we're not going after single family, or we're not going after hedge fund owners, LLC owners, things like that. Just, CC Garland, right? John Smith, Mary Kate Ashley, not 123 House Buyers LLC, or We Buy Homes Tampa LLC, or Pinellas County Investments LLC. We're not going after those people. Okay, last sale date, 1/1/65, right? So January 1st, 1965 to January 1st, 1999. And here's another filter I put on my list, guys. So $100,000 or less as the sale price, meaning the last time, let's just say somebody bought their home on January 1st, 1999. We want to see that the last sale price was $100,000 or less, meaning that they had to buy it for $100,000 or less. So I've seen there's a direct correlation with how much somebody pays for their house and their motivation, or how cooperative they are. If they pay more for their house, guys, they're going to be less cooperative. Inverse relation. So here's cooperation. Here's what they paid for it. Or here's what they paid for it. Here's cooperation. So if they paid $800 for their house, they're going to be less motivated, right, than somebody who paid $300K for their house. They'll be more motivated than that $800,000 person. But somebody who paid $100,000 for their house, especially in 1999 or prior, is going to be way more motivated to sell and cooperative to sell and easier to work with. And they're going to fit our avatar, and they're going to probably say, okay, I might want to sell my house, rather than somebody who bought their house last year who lives in it. That's an extreme example, but this is what we're doing here. And I really think at this point, with how hedge funds and some of my buyers are tight, well, not really hedge funds, but some of my buyers are tightening up where they're buying and what they're paying for. And they're being a little bit more particular about the houses that they're buying. I'm only going after absentees these days, guys. And so the amount of data I have is imperative. So you got to think, when I went here, and I've marketed to Tampa before, right? I've been to Tampa, visited there. I'm familiar with the area. And I know good and well with this criteria, even absentee in Pinellas County, there's not going to be 271 houses. What? At least 1,000. So let's go further. I said the last open mortgage remaining balance is 100,000. So think, if somebody bought their house for 100K, they could still take out a mortgage for 500K, 600K on their house, whatever it appraised for. So I don't want to see people that took out reverse mortgages or anything like that. I just want to see people where they owe no more than $100,000 for their house. Okay, so that's the criteria I have right there. If I go into Investor Title Toolbox, I'm going to recreate this same criteria for you guys. Pinellas County, Florida. Okay. I'm going to take out this condo right here. Last one, guys. And I am going to go to, okay, so single family. So we have that. Florida, Pinellas County. Let's go ahead and click individual or owner occupied, since it's here. No. Other available fields. Individual company owner. I'm going to go ahead and click individual here. Last sale date, 1/1/1965. So I'm going to do the exact same thing here. So in theory, guys, I should get the same amount of records, right? So I'm going to do year built 19. I got to do 1965. No, I did not. 1999. Okay. So year built 1965 to 1999. Then we're just going to do the same thing for our for the purchase price. Guys, I always lose where the purchase price is in here. A purchase date. Okay, a purchase day and purchase price. Okay, so okay, I'm going to do between 1965. And then what I do, 1/1/1999. All right, just double check. 1/1/1965, 1/1/1999, right? Only two filters I need to add are the last purchase date, last purchase price, and total outstanding loans. So I can do that by doing less than or equal to. I'm just going to do less than, because just for the sake of technicalities here, just because somebody might say, oh, you did less than or equal to. Just going to do less than 100,000 here. And then I'm going to do total outstanding loans of 100,000. So, okay, boom. Now let's go ahead and get the count. Oh, I did equals 100,000, sorry. Okay, guys. 1,502 properties compared to 271 in PropStream. Come on, guys. And I know a lot of you guys are in Florida, and several of you guys are in Tampa. So there's a reason why since 2017 I've been using this tool, guys. And I want to be honest, I'm gonna keep it all the way a buck with you. I'm getting sort of like, I'm not being as vociferous with my messaging going so far because I'm tired of arguing with people about this stuff. One guy was like, guys, I'm gonna be honest. One guy messaged me saying your prices are too high for my list pulling. And it's like, but he was like begging me to do the work for him. So he wanted me to have PropStream prices with ccgarlandmarketing.com data and analysis and effort and work and all that involved. Basically, he wanted A+ work for D prices. Guys, that's not how this operates. So I'm showing you right here, if you're using this and you're like, you're trying to figure out what's going on with your campaigns, you're like, well, maybe it's my VA, maybe it's this, maybe it's that other people are in Tampa. You guys are all using the same list. All right, you guys are all going here. Even if you're using Realty Track and all this stuff, if you guys have these little quick filters here, you're done. You need to be able to create your list from scratch, guys. You know, like this isn't a joke, right? Some people view this as like a game, but I don't. I view my marketing very strategically. So when I start my campaign, I shouldn't have to touch it for 30 days. And that's the goal, because what I've seen is if you're trying to close deals up during the month, we know what happens. There's something with the title that may be messed up. You may find another error on it. You have to go to the courthouse to get documents, all the stuff that goes on with just the day-to-day operations of running an investment business. And I'm not even talking to you guys that are flipping. So if you guys are flipping, think about all the additional stuff you have to do. This stuff gets put to the back burner. Come on, guys. Like, you really do think you're going to sit and think about this when it's time to pull a list? No, you're just going to be like, let me go to PropStream. Let me get this quick lien list, or this quick auction list, or bank loan list. You're doing the same thing everybody else is doing. And that's going to last you about 2 days. And then your cold caller is going to be down on the same list over and over again. And you're going to be closing one deal every 4 months up until, you figure out that the tools you use, the methods you do, everything has to be A1. You can't have your acquisitions department up here operating at 198% efficiency and your marketing department operating at 20%, or you don't even know anything that's going on in marketing. Guys, we have 3 different companies here, really, when it comes down to wholesaling. And I'm going to just go on a little tangent here. It's almost like we have 3 different business models. With you guys here. Okay, so it's almost like we have 3 wholesaling business models here, guys. And you have your marketing department. This is how I look at my business. My marketing department, my acquisitions department, and I got my marketing acquisitions, and then transactions coordination, guys. Think about this. Each one of these business models, there's probably somebody or a company that's prominent that only does this in the industry. So think, if you guys are working in your company, you're trying to do all this and you don't really know what you're doing, there's questions that you don't know. And guys, a lot of us are arrogant. I was arrogant. I thought I knew everything. I don't need to join that mastermind. I don't need to talk to that person. And I'm over here making mistakes. And you guys can do it the hard way like I did. Like, I'm 8 years in, and I'm honestly like, I'm bored of this stuff now because I know it like the back of my hand. I can do it in my sleep, right? I literally, like, I can wake up, determine where I want to, if I want to get a contract in a week. I can put a campaign together today, start getting leads, and probably be negotiating with somebody by the end of the day and contract the property tomorrow, some boots on the ground out there on Monday, and get it under contract. It's clockwork. Guys, why? Because I have systems that I've developed and I haven't deviated from them, but I've added to them, right? So I noticed there were commonalities between a lot of the successful real estate companies and commonalities between the unsuccessful ones. The successful ones treated their companies almost like they were Fortune 500 companies. And even if it was just them, they would have a VA, or they would have a meeting, and they would say they would have one VA, but they would have a marketing meeting on Monday. That same VA, they'd have a acquisitions meeting with them. Then they'd have a transaction coordination meeting. Same VA, 3 different hats that they're wearing. That the VA was capable of it, once they learned that they were capable of it. So you guys should be looking at your company like this. This gets skimmed over and glossed over when things get hectic. I mean, when things get hectic in your business, so let's talk about sellers ghosting you. You think you're going to have marketing at the forefront of your mind if your seller's ghosting you and you have a closing tomorrow, closing attorneys, and your paralegals being difficult? Right? Or you just have general problems with getting the deal closed. I've had stuff like that happen. Those transactions just seems like there's always something. It's not anybody's fault. It's like, oh, this happened, or we tried to get in the house and there was a pit bull out there, and we had to call the owner to put the pit bull up, so we had to reschedule another time. So all just like those, it always seems like there's something with 1 out of 10 deals that we do where it's just like beyond everybody's control and things just happen. So the reason why I'm saying this is when that actually happens, what happens? The marketing goes to the wayside. Marketing goes to the wayside because what's going to happen is you're going to say, okay, at least I have leads. At least I have leads I can work. So let me follow up with these sellers. While I wait for this other deal to close. Got it. Yeah. I'm not doing that. So basically you're going to wait until you close the deal to start marketing again. You guys better tap in with me. This right here generated me $3,500. Yeah, another check. So right here, deal I closed with my process here. All right. Oh, let me turn this back on. 1 second. So this is a deal I closed last week. Got this check in the mail. It was actually the last piece of mail I got before I went to came to Charlotte. I was wrapping up some business in the other city I was moving in, and so this came in. I was like, "That's nice, $3,500 little check in the mail." Guys, I'm just like you. I've had some big wholesale deals, like those chunky $40,000 deals and stuff. But to be honest, my company sustained like this, and to be honest too, you need to figure out how you want your company to work for you, right? What I mean by that is you can end up turning this into, you can take on so much business because some of you guys are excellent at this. Where's the end? Are you just going to keep on working yourself to death? That's why I really do think people should specialize, get in where you fit in, realize that once you're doing this company or doing this business model, if you get to $30,000, $40,000 a month, 3 to 4 deals a month, guys, at that point, you're going to have to make some decisions as far as, do I want to start hiring employees or do I want to start bringing in partnerships? For me, I love JV partnerships because I had an office where we had 10 employees between 2 offices in Charleston. This was 2017 and 18, right? And so I like going into work, having team and all that stuff, but it was more trouble than it was worth. And I think I bit off more than I could chew because I was only like 3 years in the industry then. But even with that, guys, you have to realize if you're if you're going to scale, okay, you're going to scale, you're going to have to delegate either what you're doing or focus specifically on what you're doing. Let's just say you're good at acquisitions. You might want to delegate marketing to somebody like me or delegate dispositions to somebody like New Western, right? So that goes back to what I was saying here, guys, is that there are multiple different ways to get paid in this thing, right? So you have New Western. The only thing they do is dispo positions and transaction coordination. This is New Western. So you have to ask yourself, what's worth your time, right? What do you want to delegate, right? Do you want to hire employees or merely not merely, but our partner with other investors, which I like. Because guess what, guys? Each of these investors that I'm going to be that I work with, they have their own company I'm partnered with. So let's just say me, Garland Enterprises, or Garland House Buyers. I want to go into Tampa, Florida. I might find somebody who's great at acquisitions who lives in Tampa, and I may go and say, "Hey, I want a JV with you. I'll do the marketing. You go ahead and be the boots on the ground in acquisitions. Hey, man, if I'm going to give you a month, if you start messing up, I'm going to just give these leads to somebody else." Because I think about it, guys, really, my profit margins, once I was running a six-figure month wholesaling company, was about 20% to 30%. So somebody may say, okay, well, that's like 20 to 30 grand. But guys, all that work for 20 to 30 grand, $30,000, 30K. Because you got to think the number of contracts you got to get, right? So on average, we were getting about 8 deals. We were getting about 8 properties under contract a month. And we had a 62% closing rate, meaning only out of those 8 times 0.62, only like 4 will close. So out of those 8, only 4 or 5 will close, guys. And so with that being said, we were in a situation where when employees had to get paid and we were like, we want to hit our 100K, we were basically trying to make those other 4 deals work. And we lost a lot of time chasing other 4 deals that didn't work. So, I worked in a company here in Charlotte, actually, called Solve Real Estate. And shout out to Miguel and Pete for giving me the opportunity. But it was awesome working with them. But I saw how much work that they put in their company and they had employees. Now, granted, it was 2 business owners and they have a great company. But for me, when I saw that, I said, and this was after I had my office and everything. I said, I don't know if I want to actually build a company up and get employees. So guys, realize at some point you're going to have to go in that fork in the road. You're going to have to deal with that fork in the road. Are you going to hire employees to scale? Or are you going to cut out JV partnerships to scale? Are you going to be almost like a free agent out here? You have your own company, but you just do acquisitions and you want to go into other markets. Do I partner with somebody like me who's a nerd at marketing and, hey, cut him a percentage or just pay him monthly to do that? And I could just call the leads and close them. Guys, that's what I'm doing right now, right? So that's why I ended up starting my company, CC Garland Marketing, because not a lot of people are good at this to this day, right? And I wanted to make sure I had a niche in this industry where I was irreplaceable, basically. Which I want to say I'm irreplaceable, but I'm I stand on my own, right? There's no other person that's doing what I'm doing. I encourage everybody to do that. Even if you're watching this, guys, shout out to my Facebook friends and YouTube people, but people on Facebook who may be my old school friends and stuff, guys, it's never too late to reinvent yourself. It really isn't. It's never too late to say, hey, I this isn't going the direction I want, and I want to pivot. All right, without going on a tangent, guys. Let me see if I have any comments here. Okay, so let's get back into it, guys. So to recap, our marketing department, right? This gets skimmed over once you're caught up in the acquisitions. Once you have a hot deal, this goes out the window. Marketing goes out the window. But you still need to be marketing every day. Not you personally, but your company needs to be marketing every day. I'm going to tell you guys something. I'm going to drop a gem for you. By the time you notice that your marketing's messed up, it's too late. The issue should have been addressed 30 days ago, because it takes about 30 days for campaigns to ramp up and get what am I trying to say? Get some momentum going. I don't know what about it is, guys. There's been about 3 times I've done a marketing campaign and contracted a property within the first week of doing my marketing. This is an anomaly and a rare. We shouldn't get used to this. But if this has happened to you in a good way, you shouldn't get used to this. You should say, okay, hey, I got lucky. You know, that was probably God looking out for me, making sure I got that extra boost. But I know there are certain principles I have to follow. Guys, the people that are actually doing this on a day-to-day basis, they may say, like I saw something online, this whole like AI thing. I have my thoughts about that. But, you know, some wholesaler was trying to basically say incorporate AI into wholesaling. I think that's dangerous, guys. Just incorporating hype into wholesaling. Guys, if I showed you the operation of how many tools I've had, you would say I have a boring ass company. And I do. It's to the point where it's just pretty much, I wouldn't say it's boring, but it's doing what it's supposed to do. it's making me money without any like big issues. And that's what you want. I think some of you guys want drama in your company, not me. Some of you guys live for that. All right. Okay, so I want to use another example here. I'm going to go show you guys. Let's just experiment again in PropStream and see what we find. Now, that was Pinellas. All right, that was Pinellas. And you see here we have Pinellas and Investor Title Toolbox, 1,500 records, and in PropStream we only have 271 records, guys. And let me share this criteria with you again. Look, here it is. And you can let me know if I'm missing anything. But when I did this before I started and last week, I made sure I double, triple, quadruple checked this to make sure I wasn't tripping. Now, some of you guys may say, oh, well, CC, what if your data is outdated? Number one, valid question. Number two, it's not based off of my experience, guys, because like I said, the only way to really prove if this stuff works is to market to it. So I'm doing marketing lists. Like I said, people are paying me $1 a piece, $9.97 a piece to pull their list for them, which are generating 70 leads a month for them. And then they last about 45 days. But guys, people wouldn't be paying me that and then consistently over and over again every month if my data sucked, or if I was just going to PropStream and pulling data from there. So that's just something to keep in mind. But also to answer your question too, if you're basically saying there's over 1,000, there's about 1,300 erroneous records. Now I'll give it to you. In some of these tools, you know, there's going to be sellers that have sold their house. It even happens to me every now and then where I call them, I pull a fresh list, call them, and somebody says, hey, I sold this house. But it shouldn't be happening like every seller you call, or it shouldn't happen so often where your cold callers notice, right? Where it's not a trend. So with that being said, what else could be going wrong? I mean, like properties listed. We don't have a listed filter on here. I don't have any other filter that there's nothing I could think of that explains this discrepancy, to be honest. Right. And so let's see without absentee records. Now on my tool, if I have too many, it may just show up that there's not that I can't display them. And if so, I'll chunk it down by zip code. But we have 3,500 when I took that absentee filter off. So in Pinellas County, properties that were built between 1965 and 1999 that were bought for $100,000 or less, and they owe $100,000 or less on them. We have 3,500 properties. That doesn't sound right, guys. For that same criteria, I have 11,000. Okay, so share this video with who needs to see it. Do your duty. Tell them to tap in with me, guys. I'm doing list pulling for people. I honestly pulled back on my list pulling last year once I saw a lot of people were using PropStream. I was like, oh, these people got it. You guys don't need me. And then I started to hear people say I'm using these PropStream lists. I'm in a competitive market in this, that, and the third. I'm like, what are you talking about? Little Rock's not competitive. Kansas City's not competitive compared to like South Florida. So I started to look at the data sets, and honestly, people were sending me on wild goose hunts. I was hopping on the call with their cold callers trying to diagnose all this stuff. It's a list. I hate to be a bearer of bad news, but guys, PropStream looks cool. It's awesome how it looks. It's so funky. Oh man, look how responsive it is. My shit, I go into it. Yeah, it takes fucking like a minute for this thing to load my records. It looks dated. Shit looks like it's from 2012, but I'll tell you what, it's made me and my partners millions of dollars in assignment fees. Right? And so basically, guys, if you're using this, I could go on your market and have 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. I pretty much have 6,500 more records than you have. 6,500 people that bought their house for $100,000 or less that that bought it in 1999. We're not talking about people that bought their house for last year. We're talking about legitimate empty nesters, like free and clear, I won't say free and clear owners, but distressed sellers to a certain extent. Most of these people, if they have total outstanding loans of $100K, within the last 10 years, they didn't take out a HELOC on their home unless it was free and clear and they took it out to repair it. But that's if they paid $100,000 for it, even if it got appraised more, it wouldn't make sense for them to take out, for the bank to give them a loan on a $100,000 house. So there's just a lot of things that factor into that 100,000 number that I like. It tells me a lot about the seller, the people you're targeting. Now, there is something I did see, guys, that I think I might add, because what I'm doing is I'm getting a lot of like vacant lots that were once houses, but now they're like lots because the people don't want to sell. The family members don't want to sell their houses, but let's just say that it's tied up in title, or they don't want to pay property taxes on a house, but they don't want to lose the land. They'll just tear it down, and it'll take the assessed value from like $100K, $200K down to maybe like $5,000. They don't have to pay $80 in taxes versus like $2,000 a year. So that's something to keep in mind. Okay, so I'm trying to think about if there's anything else I see here. Okay, so I took it. Guys, numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie, my friends. Let's look at another example here. Okay. All right. And if you guys have another area, let me know. But since I'm in Charlotte, let's do Mecklenburg County. Okay, so Mecklenburg County with the same criteria, we have 6,200 records. I'm going to add this absentee filter on. So 622 sellers. I'd be damned. Watch this, guys. Okay, so I just did the same thing. North Carolina, right? Mecklenburg County. And I'm going to throw this absentee filter on it. Say everything's the same. Didn't change anything. Get count. Oh, 519 properties. Okay. So I have less in here. Okay. Let's see what's going on. Filter, single family, 1965, 100K or less. Mecklenburg County, North Carolina. No, individual. 19. Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's go somewhere else. Since we're in Florida, let me go back to Florida here. I'll just do Hillsborough. Nope, not Hillsborough, North Carolina. Hillsborough County. Florida. Okay, so 459. Florida. Okay, make sure I didn't change anything here as well, guys. Okay, so 1,200. So guys, there may be a discrepancy. It may not be ubiquitous across the country, but when I did this for the markets I did, I can't remember the ones off the top of my head, but it was definitely a lot of the ones in Florida that I was doing at the time, guys. And that's a major wholesaling market. I have 459 properties that fit that criteria here, and then I have an additional. I have 1,200 over here, and guys, you may look at this and say, "Oh, well, 400 and then 1,200. That's not that lot. That's not a lot." But guys, over time, and it gets even worse too, guys. When I actually do by zip code. So if I do this by zip code, PropStream is really lacking when it comes to the zip code, guys. Look. So if I do, nothing even came up there. So yeah, PropStream sucks at targeting zip codes, to be honest. So 4 properties, even then. So 4 went mine, and then nothing came up for them there. Okay, let's see. 33511. Okay, let's get the count there. 33511. 33 properties over here. 100 over there. You know? So it's just there's a reason why I've been using this tool for a while, guys. And it's over time, guys. It's gaining its trust over time, guys. I would have to put forth. I've done countless marketing campaigns with Investor Title Toolbox. I can't say the same thing about PropStream, which is why I've been sort of silent on it, as far as like being critical of it. But once I actually start doing a deep dive on it, like I'm doing now, I'm like, okay, things are adding up here. Okay, let's go to a different area. Let's go out west. Let's go to Orange County. Actually, not Orange County. I was going to go to California. Let's do Texas. So Houston County is Harris County, right? Yep, Houston. So I'll do Texas, and then Harris County. And the reason why I'm doing this with the year built, 1965, 99, just because when I was doing this was a hedge fund criteria. You know what I want to do? I want to do less than or equal to 100K. That's usually what I typically do. I don't do that. And Harris County. Because sometimes too, guys, the data, for some reason or another, might not get into the tool, meaning PropStream may not recognize it may not get from the county the year built for all the records. So it may just be blank. So they may be there, but they may populate if I don't put the year built there. But to be honest, a lot of you guys are going after hedge funds. I know I am. That's like an important filter to have, which is why I'm showing it. So 201 records, right, in PropStream. Okay. 201 you see right here. And then 984 in Harris County. Like I said, guys, it doesn't seem like a lot, but and I have some very tight filters here just to make my point. But let's see how many there are with absentee. Now, if I get a lot, it may not recognize the counts here, because if there's like over 100,000, it won't display them. But we'll see. And I'm going to take this absentee filter off here as well. Okay, so 1,695 on PropStream. We have 9,239. Guys, this is pretty much enough to put together to pull a list. So if you guys are in if you guys are in Houston, literally I can just pull this list and send it to you. But for a price there is. But 9,200 seller records. All right. And guys, I that's another thing too. It's like I have dynamic stats, so this thing is connected. I want to say like to the MLS and all that stuff, but it's getting it from title data, which is better. It's getting it from actual attorneys. Like attorneys use this, title companies use this, mortgage brokers use this data set, which is why I like using it, because not a lot of people are using it in the real estate industry. So even if PropStream was quote unquote better, I would go the opposite direction, because if everybody's using something, even if it's better, it's going to be crowded and then it becomes saturated, you know? So we're at that point where PropStream is saturated. And a lot of these other tools, guys. So lots of good data here. Okay, so 9,200 records, guys. So I hope that illustrates a point that I'm trying to make here with you all. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off there, and I might go live tomorrow, just discussing some of the same stuff that I was talking about today. Hey, Yogi said that lineup was good. Hey, I've just seen that, my guy. I got it. Just got that fresh shape up. Barbara bless. Barbara bless me. I'm just replying to Yogi on Facebook. But anyway, guys, I hope all that helps out. Helps you out. I'll be dropping more content like this later. I hope you guys have a safe and blessed Memorial Day weekend. Guys, remember, it's not Veterans Day. It's Memorial Day. So we are thinking about the people that we lost. Veterans, right? Whether you had relatives, even if they came back, guys, and they lived out their lives, you know, they probably lost something overseas, right? They probably lost something even if they didn't deploy in the military. So so just think about your loved ones that passed that were in the military. Guys, remember Veterans Day is in November. It's Memorial Day. We're thinking about the ones that we've lost. All right, guys. So hope you guys have a great weekend. I will chat with you all later. And remember, if you need a list pool, guys, I'm your guy. 997 list pools, doing this full time, 24 to 48 hour turnaround time. I've got a couple that I'm doing right now. Shout out to my guy, Joe. Joe Thomas just bought a list from me on Friday. So I'm going to do that for him in Baltimore. All my lists come with a zip code analysis, guys. So if you guys are interested in that, you guys, I'll send you a zip code analysis that comes with it. Basically, it's a spreadsheet with all my 25,000 records on one sheet, and then on another sheet, all your zip codes, and I have them color coded by the ones that you should target first, are the areas you should go into, and the ones that I pulled first. So I'll be the one to determine which ones we should go into and which leads we pull, but that's just for your marketing information going forward. Or if you have somebody else who's lost in the sauce, or if you want to make them lost in your market, so you have a wholesaler you don't like, you get my zip code analysis and tell them to go to the rural markets. So guys, I'm big on educating in all seriousness when it comes to this stuff, educating and teaching and making money in the process. I do this, guys, full time. CC Garland, you know where I'm at. Find me at CC Garland Marketing.